Brendan, how difficult a night was that for you watching that?
Yeah, it was a tough watch, to be honest. We weren't quite at our best, and they showed why they're a top team. So yeah, we didn't make the start that we wanted, and then I was just saying to the players afterwards, I don't think I've been involved in a game where I felt that every single mistake that we made got punished. And that's the level. It's, any misplaced pass or moment that they had, it just seemed to end up in the back of the net. So and then on the other side, we had a couple of moments, obviously second half, and it didn't just quite fall for us. So yeah, I think at this level, especially away from home against a top team, you need to be at your highest level, and we weren't that, and they were, and you could see the level and quality that they have.
You mentioned the mistakes. Mistakes there. Most unlike you, I think it's fair to say. What was the issue there? Why were there so many, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the learning that comes away from this level. I think that we might have got spooked a little bit early on. I felt, we get into one each. Good. We're unfortunate the toe poke goes through, and then the guy gets the penalty, put them 1-0 up. But then we get the equaliser. But then very, very quickly we're then 2-1 behind, and they get a foothold in the game, start to move it well, and we start to chase it a little bit. So it was a mixture of our positioning, but also then our quality in our passing. It was just whether I was short or we just made the right pass or not. The touch wasn't quite right, so we just we just didn't play a good game technically either.
I know it's hindsight, but is there anything that you would have done differently, having watched the match and seen the performance? Would you have done anything differently at the start? No,
not really. I think it's one. What we went in high in confidence. Team's been playing ever so well, so we felt in a really, really good place. But I think we needed to start the game much better than we did. We gave away cheap goals, and like I say, if we analyse the game back, we just there's certainly issues positionally that we would have to be better in, and like I say, we got punished for passes and loose bits of play, which at this level, like you've seen tonight, they will punish you, and it was absolutely ruthless in the finishing. It's absolutely incredible to see, and unfortunately for us, we were on the back of it. Ronnie.
Brendan, is this just a reminder of the levels you need to get to where you want the team to be? Is this a reminder?
Yeah, listen, it's very, very difficult for us to get to that level. It's a different level with the greatest respect. But what we'd want to be is more competitive than we were tonight. I think that was what was disappointing from our perspective. But I thought the second half the guys showed a really good spirit. We were much braver on the ball, a bit more cleaner with their passing, and got into some much better areas, had the ball for longer periods. The first half we were too rushed. We know we've got speed in the top end of the field, but we just gave it away too early, and you do that against good players, then you're chasing the ball. But the level it's always a learning process, and like you say, it for us, we've seen tonight the very highest level of the European game, and for us we get punished, but we will learn from it for sure.
Does it at all make you reassess the approach when you do come away from home against the bigger teams, and how much you do go toe-to-toe with them?
Yeah, I didn't think we were going toe-to-toe with them. I think there's certain moments whenever we compress the game. So from a static position, we're there to press it. Of course, then when you're in that mid-pitch, I just felt that we needed to be tighter. We just at times our positioning was a little bit too open, and you just got to really tighten the game, or else they play through you, and that's what they did. And once they're in and turned, then that speed and power that they have at the very highest level, then you see where it takes them. So we in moments we were pressing the game. Of moments we're in, but we needed to be tighter and more compact in certain moments, which let them get through. And then, listen, they get 2 penalties in the first half, and then they score an absolute worldie from, you know, the young guy from outside the box, or the one he nicks off Daisan inside and finishes, which an unbelievable finish. And then Daisan has a touch a little bit loose, and then he fires it in. So before you know it, you're 4-1 down, and that's just sheer quality. There's nothing positioning in that. That's what I said earlier, just getting punished for mistakes that you wouldn't normally. But with a very, very elite player, you make that slight mistake, boom, you get punished.
Gabriel?
Brendan, just in terms of, I don't know if this is on.
Yeah, I can hear you, it's okay.
Yeah. Obviously it's first defeat in a long time, but it's a heavy one. How do you make sure that it doesn't scar the players, doesn't linger in their mind, especially when you come back to this competition in a couple of weeks' time, because this competition is so important for you and for the club?
Yeah, listen, we knew that over 8 games that what it is we wanted to achieve, but we also knew that these opening games away from home was going to be a real eye-opener for us and a real challenge for us. So no one within the players and the management and coaching staff felt any different. We knew it was going to be a big challenge. Obviously our form coming into it was absolutely fantastic, and we would have wanted to be in much better this evening, but that's my job. My job's now to go away and inspire the players again, and like I say, we analyse and you need to learn from it, or else you can really get punished at this level. But this is a fantastic group of players that will do that. They're very conscientious, and we'll look at it and see where we can be better.
Brendan, is the result and performance surprised you tonight, or did you kind of see this coming in some ways? You think it was always possible that a team like Dortmund could do this?
It's always possible, just because of the level. You know, we come into it obviously with great optimism, and that's what you want to have. But we're obviously in the notion as well that we're playing against top players, and I think you see that this evening, really at the top of the game, and can really punish you. So, but like I say, we have to take it on the chin. Players have been brilliant over a long period of time now. We had a really good start in the competition, so we've got 3 points on the board tonight. The best team won by a long way, and we can learn from it and get going again at the weekend.
Michael?
Brendan, you mentioned the team maybe being spooked by the early goals. It did kind of look that way. I mean, how is that something that you can work on? Because you know you need to have composure in places like this, and maybe at Atalanta as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, Atalanta will be a different game. It's a more man-to-man game, so you have to be really strong in your duel and be able to work the ball. And but yeah, tonight we surprisingly we weren't so have that assurance with the ball and that authority that we'd normally have, and it maybe come from the quick goals that we conceded. But it's the level. It's the level, and if you want to compete at this level, and then we would have to be better with and without the ball.
Is there a broader point, Brendan, about the big step you have to make between what you face domestically and facing something like that? Because the reality is you could make those mistakes in a game at home and that wouldn't happen to you. I mean, that's got to be difficult for the players, isn't it?
Well, listen, it's a fair point. It is, because you're just not coming up against that level. But as I said before, I don't think I've been involved in a game where it just felt that every misplaced pass or just a slight error ended up with a goal. It was absolutely ruthless finishing. And when you see that level, it's you know what it takes to really push on. So, but for us, it's, listen, we operate in the league that we're in. We have to be the best that we can be in that. That then qualifies us to come into this stage, and that's where we want to be. And nights like tonight are hard. They can be tough, but it can happen. So we have to learn from it, and like I say, move on.
Okay. Any more? No. Okay. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.